Both the PLP and the FNM say they're confident of a victory tomorrow.
Your servant will enter the halls of Parliament.
How many work permits are given to foreigners and who's getting them?
You bring in about 16% of the workforce is foreign labor.
Major changes at LPIA, plus a history lesson on Bahamian names.
Well, the king sent them, thousands of them, to St. Augustine, Florida, and they waited there with their slaves until they were given permission.
I'm Nikia DeVoe, and this is NB12 Weekend. NB12 Weekend, thanks for spending your Sunday evening with us. Just a few hours from now, North Abaconians will be back at the polls, once again deciding who will represent their constituency for the next few years. Abaco is buzzing with excitement as last-minute preparations are made for tomorrow's voting process. More than 4,500 North Abaconians are expected to cast their ballots tomorrow at 12 polling stations. Be sure to tune into Cable 12 tomorrow for live coverage of the North Abaco by-election beginning at 6 p.m. Well, the Progressive Liberal Party made its final attempt to win over the people of North Abaco before they mark their X's tomorrow. Prime Minister Perry Christie took the stage during a mass rally last night and highlighted many plans for the constituency, like urban renewal for Grand Key, job training, and making the island's tourism industry a priority. But Christie stressed that the plans have nothing to do with winning the by-election. He said the party took care of Abaco even when the island had no PLP representation.
The only thing that has happened to Abaco in the last 20 years in terms of direct jobs was put there by my government between 2002 and 2007. We never once hesitated because it was Abaco. We know how important Abaco is to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. It is the third leading economy.
The Prime Minister also made a big promise to Bahamians last night. He said the government will ensure that families of children who need medical procedures get the help that they need.
Wherever I go, and I meet a child whose parents cannot afford medical intervention of the kind that can permanently listen, you hear what I'm saying now? That the government of the Bahamas will ensure that the treatment that child needs, she will get it.
PLP candidate Renardo Curry delivered his last message before the North Abaco election day. He said he's confident that this time he will be chosen as the next member of parliament for North Abaco.
I went up against a political giant. I didn't emerge victorious at first, but I believe North Abaco. The process to full victory was only prolonged. Now here I am, confident of victory. 2 nights before, a new member of parliament will be announced. 2 nights before, a new day will dawn. That giant is off the scene now. His chapter has been closed. And come Wednesday, the 17th of October, what has been prolonged will finally become a reality. Your servant will enter the halls of Parliament.
The Free National Movement also speaking to its supporters in Cooperstown, North Abaco last night. The FNM delivered a message that urged North Abaconians to keep the constituency red. Party leader Dr. Hubert Minnis said the PLP makes promises it cannot keep and highlighted areas where he claimed the governing party already failed to deliver, including presenting a plan to lower the cost of electricity in the Bahamas, lower the crime rate with urban renewal, attract new foreign investments, and create 10,000 jobs. Dr. Minnis warned North Abaconians not to fall for the promises being made for the constituency just for their votes. Former Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for North Abaco Hubert Ingram also took the stage last night, once again encouraging supporters to give their votes to FNM candidate Greg Gomez. Ingram also accused the PLP government of misallocating funds, claiming that the government does not have the money to do all the things it is promising to do for North Abaco. And in other news, according to information from the Department of Immigration, only about 5% of the Bahamian workforce is made up of foreign workers. The minister responsible gave our Paige McCartney a breakdown of the areas where Bahamians are not benefiting from employment. Here's her report.
This year, just under 10,000 work permits have been issued to foreigners wanting employment in the Bahamas, according to Immigration Minister Fred Mitchell. Considering that the Bahamas labor force is approximately 191,000 people, foreign workers account for just more than 5% of the workforce. That number has grown since last year, where just more than 7,900 foreigners were granted work permits. Mitchell said last fiscal year, the Department of Immigration generated $44 million from work permit, permanent residency, and citizenship fees. However, he said the majority of the revenue was made up from work permits. The immigration minister said revenue is expected to grow substantially this fiscal year.
This year, the government expects revenue of about $47 million from all of the fees again. And right now we have just up to from May up to now, we're basically at about $10 million or so.
According to Mitchell, applications for professional work permits only make up about 30% of the total. Last year, the most common professions permits were awarded for were bankers, accountants, project managers, and general managers. But laborers still make up the majority of permits issued.
The largest quantity, of course, is the category of the laborer, handyman, domestic, live-in housekeeper. I think that seems to be the broadest category. It is the cheapest category in terms of revenue because that is a $1,000 fee per year. But the most expensive category, of course, is the professions.
Haitian nationals make up the largest group applying for work permits. However, Mitchell said given the development of Baha Mar and Cable Beach, Chinese nationals follow closely behind. But lumped into those general labor applications are foreign spouses of Bahamians.
What used to happen and still does to a certain extent because the law has just now changed is that when the resident spouse permit expired after 5 years, the only alternative in between the time you got permanent residence with the right to work as a spouse was to get a general worker permit.
Mitchell said once there's an increase in activity in major GDP generating sectors like finance, tourism, and construction, you'll generally see an increase in the number of applications coming into the Department of Immigration and being approved, and also revenue generated therefrom. For MB12, I'm Paige McCartney.